Yeah, I just wanted to give my impressions on Wolfenstein. This is Wolfenstein: The New Order. I have to say right off the bat, I'm playing the PlayStation 4 version, but I'm not blown away with the graphics. I think the graphics are only okay. It doesn't mean that I think it's an ugly game by any stretch, but it's definitely, it's not Killzone, it's not Rise. It's kind of like on, let's say, like the Titanfall level, but just like Titanfall, the game runs really fast. I know Battlefield 4 runs at 60 frames per second and has 64 players and all of that, and I do think that the Frostbite 3 engine's more impressive, but I have to say, this is using the id Tech 5 engine, which is the same engine that ran Rage, also Doom BFG Edition, well, Doom 3 BFG Edition, and this game doesn't look amazing, but it looks good. I can definitely see that, this game was probably optimized for last gen, as the Tech 5 engine was for Rage. But, it definitely looks good. It runs in 1080p, 60 frames a second, both on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I'm playing this on the PlayStation 4 version. Um, the audio is okay. I do feel that it's actually a little bit quiet. There was a patch release to enhance the audio a little bit, but I don't really see a big difference. I'm playing this before I downloaded the patch. The patch is 5 gigabytes day one. But, enough about the little things. Let's get to talk about the game. As you all know, it begins in 1946. Somehow the Nazi Germany managed to get the war to continue through 1946, and their technology is significantly more advanced than what the Allies had. So, well, in this game, you can see they did have propulsion jet engines and stuff like that we found, but they were only in prototype. In real life, well, somehow they got the propulsion jet fighters out, and they used them against the Allies, which you find early in the game. It takes place in 1946. An accident happens basically where you're invading Death Head's compound, and you end up in a mental asylum for 14 years, and it takes you to 1960. I'm not going to go on much beyond that, but basically the Nazis win the war. A lot of people are speaking German. And so you're going to want to have subtitles on. I actually turned subtitles on even for the English one because I think the audio is a little bit weak, to be honest with you. For the voices anyway, as I talked about earlier. The FX sounds drown it out. But anyway, this really talk about what Wolfenstein's really about. It's never really about story, although I do think the story is okay. The gameplay is just run and gun. As you can see, you can dual wield. Kind of reminds me of, like, say, Halo 2 or something like that. It's just a ton of fun. You're going out and just having the time of your life. It's just nothing but shooting. It reminds me of an old school shooter. It's very true to its original roots. It doesn't remind me so much of the original Wolfenstein 3D, but this reminds me of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I didn't really play, to be honest with you, the 2009 one, so I don't have a lot of familiarity with it. Again, it's just a lot of fun. There's not a whole lot, of thought into it. You just, you can see the Nazis, you shoot the Nazis. There is a stealth element you can upgrade with perks, and the perks are upgraded based on how you play. So you can play stealthy, knife people just basically by crouching and sneaking up behind them, or you can just go all out, guns a-blazing. The game doesn't have a multiplayer mode. I don't know why they chose not to include it, but the single player mode, I think, definitely redeems it. I don't really think it needs a multiplayer mode, to be honest with you. I would have liked one, but it's not a big deal because it's just a fun game. And, more than anything else, that's the most important thing. The game's fun. I don't know if it's honestly worth $60 based on what I've played so far. The campaign's about 10 to 15 hours. You could probably get 20 if you try to get all the collectibles and stuff. The original Wolfenstein 3D, the first mission is included in the game. It's kind of like a hidden perk, but you have to access something in one particular mission. But one thing I really do like about this game is there's multiple ways you can go about obtaining your objective. So if you want to sneak through the sewers, you can. If you want to go guns a-blazing, you can. It's a little bit harder if you go guns a-blazing, but if that's the kind of way you want to play the game, you can. There's no reason why you can't do that. And I really like that the developers gave you the choice. Another thing I like about the game uh, is that old school feeling. It runs so fast. It's definitely 60 frames a second. The controls are actually really fast and take a little while to get used to. Even if you play Twitch shooters like Call of Duty or something, this is